Hi everyone. I know I haven't made a new video in a while, and so I'm trying to get motivated again to make my stream of videos. And there's just such an event that I went to a couple of days ago that inspired me. So, in Japan, summertime is a huge time for festivals, and I would say generally the summer festivals seem to be the best because it's more hospitable weather in that it's not freezing. This is typically the season where a lot of people wear really brightly colored yukata, which is it's traditional Japanese clothing. What most people think is a kimono, but really it's yukata. I'll get to the difference between the two in a minute. Um, and also, uh, generally the festivals in summertime are really brightly colored. And so, oh, and one last thing. Festivals in the summer have fireworks, and depending on how big the festival is, will vary how big the fireworks show is. So, this last weekend, I went to something called the Tanabata Festival, and the tradition of the Tanabata Festival is actually based on a Chinese story. Some of you have probably heard this story before. It's based on the tale that's called The Princess and the Cowherder. And it starts out with saying that there is this princess who manages to weave this incredibly beautiful, colorful cloth. But she's very sad. She's kind of lonely. So her father arranges for her to meet someone, aka like a marriage partner, and he pairs her up with a cowherder. Well, the two fall in love and they are eventually very happy together, but during their union, the princess stops spinning the thread that her father loved, and the cowherder stops herding cows. And the father gets angry, and so he separates the two again and forces the daughter to go back to spinning her cloth. Well, the daughter is actually very upset, and she pleads and pleads and pleads with her father to let her go back and be with the cowherder again. And eventually he complies. And it's said that when the two are to meet, they are on opposite sides of a big river. And it's said that there was a whole herd of magpies, a type of bird, that form a bridge for the two of them to meet. And so the story goes that once a day, or once a year, on the seventh month of the seventh day, the two can meet on that bridge. And so, originally, through the old Japanese calendar, the festival was in August, but once Japan switched to the Gregorian calendar, the date was changed to July 7th. And so, traditionally speaking, at the Tanabata Festival, as a sort of homage to the princess, the decorations that are at this place are incredibly festive, really bright. I've taken quite a few pictures, so I'll show you. They're really bright and very like happy. It was a good color range for me. Um, Another thing that I looked up is in regards to the Tanabata festival. Traditionally, when people go, you're supposed to write wishes on a slip of paper, but these wishes are not traditionally general, at least in the olden days. They were more like wishes to improve upon an ability. But nowadays, people seem to wish for anything. And what you're supposed to do is you get a very bright slip of paper. It's sort of colorful hue that resembles the decorations, and then you write a wish on it and you tie it to a bamboo pole. And that's what you do. That's the big thing at the Tanabata Festival when you're doing a cultural activity. And then the other thing that I loved doing was in summer you wear yukata to the festivals. And so the main difference I'm going to say for yukata and kimono is that kimono has several layers of clothing. Like for Westerners, the dress it still looks the same. You know, it has like the belt that goes right under the chest, and it has the robes and bright colors and whatnot, but the difference is that a kimono is fancier, it's a lot harder to clean. I was talking to a friend of mine who actually made her yukata, and that's awesome, by the way. And she was telling me that, like, for people who make kimono, if you want to clean that sucker, you have to literally take it apart, clean everything separately, and then put it back together. And when I say take it apart, you need to rip the sewing out, clean it, and then sew it back on. And I was just like, that's ridiculous. So yeah, it's made of finer material. Kimonos are traditionally heavier, and the look, at least for the obi, is a little different from what I've observed. It's got a couple of components to it. It's not just one layer, it's not just one piece of cloth. And that's generally what I've identified for the differences. Oh, and another thing that was great. So I bought my yukata, and it came in a set. It came with the robe and the bow and shoes. So I tried doing the shoes. Let me show you the shoes they gave me. Okay, this is the shoe. Now you say to yourself, this looks like a reasonably sized shoe. I will show you the foot comparison. Okay, so my foot is a size 9 in the United States. I will now show you what this looks like. It's a tad short. Know what I'm saying? So I didn't end up wearing the shoes for obvious reasons, so I just had to improvise with my own sandals. But otherwise, it was really great, and I will very quickly show you up close the belt and the yukata that I wore. So this is the bow for the yukata, and this is actually what people would call a cheap bow. My yukata, it came in 2 pieces for the belt alone, and so you have this bow part that of course goes in the back, and then you have the actual belt part which you wrap around, and then you stick the bow in the back. And then the main yukata is this. Here. Get a nice up close view. I don't know if you can really see, but on the outlines of some of these flowers, it's very, very sparkly. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So it's got sparkles in the outline, and I love this color and this pattern. I was with a friend, and we spotted it, and I bought it on the spot because it was so beautiful. And so I got to wear it at the festival, and it was really good. Like, I enjoyed it. And so, the Tanabata Festival was a good experience. Unfortunately, there wasn't really any fireworks. I think that comes maybe a little later in the season, like in September and August. But generally it was good, and I will attach some pictures at the end of this video, so stay tuned. See ya!